Today, we are going to talk about those 5 things which you should never do in your marriage. These 5 things, if you do in your marriage will automatically die. And you will wonder, what happened to my marriage? As you know, whenever we talk, we go deep in the topic. So I want you to listen to this video till the end so that you get the best out of this. And you can make a transformation in your marriage. Now, what are those 5 things? So, number 1 is negative self-talk. Now, you would be wondering why negative self-talk is affecting my relationship. Definitely, it is affecting your relationship. Now, I want you to do this exercise. And once you do this exercise, when you're doing this exercise, I want you to pause this video and do this exercise. Okay? Write down. Think. Take 5 minutes. Think all those words which you use in your relationship on a day-to-day basis for your partner. Right? And write those down and see what are those things which are empowering, which are disempowering. See which are negatives, which are positives. And when you understand this is going to blow your mind. What are those words which you are using for your partner? Right? So right now, pause this video and do this exercise. And this definitely is impacting your relationship. How? Just think of one word which you use, like one negative word which you use for your partner, and see how you feel from inside. Are you feeling good about it or are you feeling bad about it? Definitely you're feeling bad about it, and not so good feeling. And when you're not feeling good about the words which you're using, how do you think that it is going to affect your partner? Words have power. Words have power more than what you even think. It is affecting your relationship. So number 1 shift which I want you to make is change the words which you are using. Replace with empowering words. So let me share an example. What used to happen in our relationship? Like previously when we used to fight in our relationship, I used to feel so bad from inside. I used to feel so hurt. I am hurt. She is bad. Why she is doing this to me? Can't she understand? My life is screwed. Why I have even married her? These were the words which I used to get in my mind. Were this empowering? No, definitely not. But now, when some disagreements happen, yes. Now also, when we have reached this stage, disagreements happen. We are 2 human beings. So when disagreements happen, like I use this word, like in life, ऐसे चुटकुले होते रहते. See the power of words. Think of any situation which has happened in your life and replace the words which you used to use and replace with some lighter words like chutkule, like some fun has happened, something not so interesting has happened. See the change in your physiology, what happens in your mind. So this is going to change a lot of things in your relationship. So number 1 was about negative self-talk. Now number 2 is criticism. Do you like to be criticized? No, right? You don't like to be criticized. Whenever your husband or wife criticize you, what do you feel? You don't feel good. Obviously. Then why are you doing that to them? You should never do that. Now you'll be asking, I feel bad. Then what shall I do in that case? When you feel bad, feel bad. Don't criticize. And then you'll be like, how can I release that? So take some time out. Have an agreement between you and your husband or you and your wife that if I'm feeling bad, this is a tendency which I have observed that I come and criticize you for everything. So I don't want to do that. So let me stop, take a pause, come back as an emotionally balanced person, and then I will talk about it. So I don't want to criticize you. Don't you think this is going to empower? If your husband or wife does this to you, do you think that is going to empower your relationship? So as now they are not listening and you want to make this change, you start the change. That was point number 2. Never ever criticize. Now, third thing, this is the most important thing if I say, taking responsibility. Taking responsibility of your actions, your words, whatever you did. This is one of the most important things in any relationship. Consider this, that there is something which has happened in your relationship which has probably not worked for you and you get angry or you got hurt. Now, instead of blaming the other person, what is that you can do in this case? And you can do something different. That is taking full responsibility. Now this is difficult. This requires practice, right? So there are so many past things which will be going in your mind, which would come in front and say that, no, I have done everything in my relationship, but my partner is not supporting me. Now again, when you say this, it is again pointing fingers. Do you like to be pointed fingers towards you? No, right? You don't like to be blamed. Exactly the same way your partner doesn't like to be blamed. So if you take responsibility and understand and introspect about that situation from a different angle altogether, like there are many perspectives to a single point. See from a different perspective. Then you will know that, oh, probably there are certain things which I could have done to make this situation better. So take responsibility for every action, every word which you say and which you do. Now, fourth point is ego. Now, you would be saying that I don't have ego, only my partner has ego. Now, that itself is blaming. We have covered that in the other point. So, come back. Think, is your ego affecting your relationship? So, what I want you to understand is that why are you taking that ego in your relationship? What is the point? When your ego comes in, what happens? Are you having a beautiful conversation? Are you having a beautiful time? No, right? So this is what happens most of the time in relationship. Now, comment below if you understand, agree to this. Now, let me share an example with you so that you understand this ego part. It is very simple. Like, say, for example, you have an expectation from your partner. You want your partner to come and listen to you. As simple as that. But instead of that, your partner comes and they start talking about their day and blah blah blah. And internally, you're feeling bad, but externally, you're like, okay, let me listen to them, let me understand. But after some time, you are not listening, but you're in your mind thinking about what you're not getting. And then you don't communicate that. And your partner understands that, okay, there is something wrong which is happening. And then they ask, what happened? And then you say nothing. And then they ask, what happened? Then you say again nothing. Then they ask again and they say, okay, I expected you to listen. I expect you to listen. And your partner said, you should have told me. Okay, tell me what is that you want. Like, I'm ready to listen. Then the ego comes up, and now I don't want you to listen. Like, after I told you, why you want to listen? Right? Like, you wanted something and your partner is giving you that. Then this ego is something which comes in between and say that, boss, now for me, my initial need is not the priority. My need is to satisfy my ego. So understand this. Ego is killing your relationship. Don't let ego come in between. Ego is spoiling your relationship. Point number 5. This is very important for you to understand. Like most of the times, what happens is that when a fight happens, it is about proving myself right. My point is right. Why are you not understanding? This is my point. And it becomes a proving game. Like, I am right, you are wrong. You cannot say this to me. How can you say this to me? Because you are not even understanding. This is what happens in a fight, right? So usually when fight starts, and what happens? There is one topic probably which you want to discuss with your partner. And after that, it becomes, I am right, you are wrong. My point is right, your point is wrong. You are not understanding. This is how usually fight happens, right? So why this happens, why this gets into that mode? It gets into that mode because you want to prove that I am right, my point is right. So there are several elements to it. But the point number 5 which I want to talk about is relationship is about win-win. It is not about I win, you lose. When you win, your relationship loses if the other partner loses. Relationship is always win-win. If you want to make your relationship win, then you need to ensure that you and your partner also wins. And you'll be wondering, how can I do that? Like, if I listen to my partner, I feel that he or she is dominating. Now that's a problem, right? You want to know the right way, then you can connect to us. We are here to help you. Most of the time, what happens is that, when there is a fight happening or when there is a disagreement happening, couples work on the surface level of the problems. Like, say, for example, property issues. Like, wife want to purchase a property, husband don't want to purchase. So the husband or wife, they ask for suggestion that how can I make my husband understand or wife understand for that matter. But the actual challenge is about communication. It is a deep-rooted issue because you guys are not having the right way of communication. And that is why when this challenge came up, you're unable to make each other understand about the emotional need. Probably for some, it is an emotional need to buy property. You're unable to express that. And you feel that the partner is not understanding. So it is about communication. You need to learn the right way of communication. And that's how your relationship is going to change. So hope you understood and are going to implement all these 5 points. And if you have any challenge implementing, do connect to us. Go to saranjali.com, www.saranjali.com and connect with us for a one-to-one. We can help you. And the first call definitely is free. So 45 minutes, it's free. You can connect to us and we can have a conversation and see what are the challenges which you're facing in your relationship and how we can help you. And you can take your relationship from here to here where you want. You know what? Talking about relationship is not a shame. So let's make it possible. Awesome. So this is what we wanted to convey today with you. These 5 points which you should never do in your marriage.